Welcome to Checkin Accounts, where we check in on the world's accounts. Let me introduce myself. Usual, Brian, starting the show. Evo.
What's up?
Usual, Toni. Haven't seen him in a while, but he's back, baby. And special guest, Pat.
You're back. Welcome back, Pat. Come back, Pat.
Back Pat.
So, guys, what's new?
Same old.
Same old.
Same old. Another week, another week. Same old shit.
Are we? Should we start building Noah's Ark yet, or with all the floods? Is it
Oh my
the end
God,
of times?
What a disaster in the last couple of weeks.
For those who don't know, Montreal 2 weeks ago got hit by some crazy storm.
Well, we got the backlash from the hurricane in Florida.
That's right.
Let's say it came up the East Coast. Hurricane what? What was it? Yeah, we don't.
I don't even know what
Eduardo or something. Something sexy, you know?
We didn't get a hurricane, but we got the
Cecilia.
It's probably named after an ex-wife, whoever discovered it.
Julio.
And yeah, it brought about 80 centimeters of rain.
In 24 hours. It was intense.
Caused a lot
Yeah.
of damage. And then almost like a week later, this massive pipe broke in the downtown area
That's
of
right.
Montreal. And we should show it to people who don't know.
7 feet in diameter. It created a geyser of approximately
we got
meters.
we got a month's worth of rain in one day.
That's true, though. That is true.
Oh, man, look at that.
That's nuts.
Look at that. Was it in the morning, huh? Just regular morning.
Jan's brother, Mattia, has an apartment right over there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
You get
yeah.
affected? He's on
Oh.
the second floor?
The basement did, yes.
Wow.
Funny enough, everybody was shitting on Valérie Plante, the mayor. But 2 days later, in Mississauga, it happened.
Yeah.
Same thing happened.
Same thing. Mississauga.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a big flood.
Do you think the rain that the week before had an effect?
Must have had some
on
pressure.
Must have.
It must have. It had to affect you.
The pressure must have affected those pipes and somehow.
Because that water is coming from a pump station, right? So it's not connected to the drainage. So how would it affect it?
That's the iceberg.
What do you mean? The drainage?
That pipe that blew up is actually a pipe that brings water
That's
into the house.
potable water coming in. Now, what the problem is that once that bursts, the drainage can absorb all the water coming in and drain it out properly. It couldn't. It's like when Montreal gets a foot of rain in 24 hours, what happens to the Carey? Well, it's 2-3 feet because the sewage under the Carey can handle all the water that comes in, distributes it back out into the. So we have a problem in the. What happened with this video was actually the potable water bursting. So we have piping underground, sourcing potable water to people's homes, and that gave up. 7 feet in diameter, it's about the size of this room. That gives up, you're getting a geyser 4 feet in the air. It is shooting up like
It's like female genitalia.
Wow.
in instant. So we're talking about thousands of gallons of water. Like
There's-
seconds.
And they're saying you can't just shut it off, right? So how do you
You can't turn it off because there's so much demand
Mhm.
that if you were just it's like turning off the power to the whole. You can't just
just
you
for
got to
that?
turn off sections.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's a whole flow of like you're gonna disrupt like with 20,000 people for no reason. Isolate that
More than
area.
that.
Oh,
Just more than
Oh,
20,000 people.
you can't just turn off the water. No. You have to really isolate where the problem is, and once they figured it out, that area, they turn it off right away.
I was just in Jamaica in March, and we had so many issues with the water there. You wake up in the morning, you like open the faucet, it's just orange water. Just
It's a guess,
Oh my god.
isn't it?
Yeah, you're brushing your teeth with that. I don't think so.
Bottled water, right?
Yeah, you take the bottled water and just let and
Take it for
spit
granted,
it
that
in the
potable
pout.
water.
It makes no sense.
You really don't.
No. Oh, but there was issues with actual rain,
Yep.
and there's a drought.
Could it be because it's copper piping they have that because of that?
No, it's just
No?
dirty.
Lead?
Dirty. So yeah, it's like it's just not much water that's passing, and like all you have is the remnants.
Right.
Gross.
When water stays stagnant in the pipes, whether it's copper or any other, if it stays stagnant, it's just going to grab on it. So nothing's moving. As soon as you open it, you always let water run.
With them.
So you just, you're in a park, let the water run. That stagnant water out of that pipe to run slowly.
Usually
That's
that
my
orange
suggestion.
stuff is the pipe that the water's been in that pipe inside for.
And if there's a little rust in that pipe, then, I mean, it's not going to kill you. It's still potable water that's treated with chlorine and all the chemicals, but it's always good to just let any water, even in your own home.
Let me ask you, the water we drink and stuff, literally the same water we're always using over and over, just cleaned up. Everything we flush down the toilet. Where's the new water coming from?
It's coming through RDP. We have plants in Atwater or RDP that are filtering the water that's coming in.
So, but
Right.
we're recycling our own water all the time.
Our sanitary water is not coming back in, though. No, our sanitary water is going
Down the river? Where's the new water coming from?
question. We're collecting that we're collecting.
So we
and
filter
we're-
that water.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
everything we flush down the toilet goes down the river.
Yeah. That's
I
for
thought-
sure.
I thought we're always recycling our own
Oh,
water.
No, we can't. It would be too dangerous to do that.
You can't
Way too
filter out
dangerous.
shit.
That's right.
and-
No.
Interesting.
Anyways.
All right, Tony. This
So,
is your-
guys, the big news this week, Montreal made a big move. Yeah.
Crazy.
So people have been expecting this for a while. Hear myself talk. So they didn't do anything at the trade. They didn't do anything at during the year. So was it a couple of days ago?
Hmm.
They made the Laine trade. It was a lot of talk. I didn't expect it was gonna happen, but it happened. And what do you guys think about the pickup?
I'm curious to see how this turns out. I'm a big Patrick Laine fan. He always produced for his teams, but downs in his careers, and the way he stands for a team, like I'm. How do you say it? Like, like a player, he defends his team, he stands up for his team. Some players are just like not team players.
I don't think he's a player that stands up for his team. He's very
That's
risky.
that's what I'm trying to get to. Is that I've seen him in his early days. He used to stand up for what was it, Winnipeg?
No, he's a very selfish player. He's a me player. He's not a 200 free player.
You
I
think
don't-
he's
I
still
don't
like
think, But he's a sniper. He's got right now. He's Montreal's best scorer. He can put. He's better than.
I won't argue with that. Yeah.
But he's a me type of player. If he doesn't get the ice time, it's him.
Mhm.
It's gotta be me. That's that character. He's
I
had
was-
up and downs, but
I was super like, what the hell? At first, I didn't think this was actually gonna happen. 'Cause it's been a few weeks, let's say, that they've been discussing the Laine thing. I'm like, and I was like, I was so turned off from his demeanor, right? This is demeanor I felt is a problem. Where like, he's not a team player in general, but now I think it's worth a shot, especially that we just Jordan Harris. That's nothing.
not
Yeah.
that. The market switch. Columbus was asking for a lot. A lot of teams were offering, but I think Columbus wanted like assets back, and they were willing to retain salary, and it just wasn't happening. So I didn't see Montreal giving up a lot of prospecting salary just to get lining, especially to get a problem and a risk.
Mm-hmm.
But now, for a 2-year contract where they can take on all the salary and at the same time get back an asset, a second round pick, I think it's worth it. It's a good risk.
Yeah, of course.
It's still a risk, but at the end of the day, it ends up being a problem. It's 2 years, and you can always cut ties, and then Montreal's not going to compete in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, but it's
And at least you have a second line.
but it's always another 2 years. It's always
It's
like,
Look,
man, I feel like it's like back in the days of like, oh, if it doesn't work out, we're gonna push. Maybe in 2 years, 3 years, we're gonna be good.
they're still developing. They're still developing. A lot of people are saying, why are you bringing him in when you're taking away a spot for people to develop? I agree. If it was a second or third line, you have nobody that can fill in the second line right now. You don't have players. You know who's taking up spots in the team? Gallagher, Anderson, Armia. Get rid of them, because it's players like Roy and all those other guys that are going to come in. They're going to end up being third or fourth line players. You don't have another player to solidify that second line. So right now, while you're waiting for Demidov, you have lining. And you help the other players who are playing on your second line develop.
Hey, To, what about Pascal Vincent? Is that what?
That's another good thing.
So that exactly, right? So Pascal Vincent, he has plenty of experience with lining.
Well, he was the head coach.
Exactly.
Right.
So
I don't think Montreal just decided, okay, it's a good deal, let's go.
So they saw
They
this
have
coming.
that on the system. I think they did the due diligence, no?
Yeah. The influence came.
Listen, when I saw Brian's text, it goes the line. I was surprised. I didn't think it was gonna happen. And when I saw that they got a second round pick without even looking, I knew they must have took on the whole salary. And then after looking, they took. I think it's good,
and they got a second round too, right?
which is good.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, they got an asset.
At least they got an asset.
And who's to say that that St. Louis works with him? He does great, and then. At the end of the year, they trade him, flip him for more. I wouldn't trade him for a first round. They don't need that anymore. I would try to get him for a young prospect or a young, already developed player ready to go that he's ready to go into the team and help this team. Because Montreal is in a second to third stage right now. Now they have the players, they have the team. Now they're trying to grow.
They don't need the players to go
in the
into
next 2
development
years,
and.
They're gonna grow, and maybe in the next after that, they're ready to compete. That's what I think.
When do you see the Montreal Canadiens hitting the playoffs with a solid team?
Well, with Laine, it's possible they make the playoffs next year. Nothing's impossible. No,
No, but they're heading into the playoffs with a team.
Listen, they're in the
You say
toughest
building.
division. They're in the toughest division in the NHL by far. The Atlantic.
Yep.
They're not better than Boston. They're definitely not better than Tampa.
Everyone's
definitely not better
rebuilding
than
though.
Florida.
Everyone in their division is rebuilding right now. Like Tampa's not going to be the same.
No, but
Boston's
they're still
not the
better.
same.
Tampa's still better. They're still competitive.
Right.
But I think Tampa's going to make the playoffs.
The Stamkos is not there. Bruins are going to be missing a lot of players.
The Bruins are still better than Montreal. Ottawa is a questionable decision. I
Right.
don't know what they're going to do up and down.
Right.
But apart from Ottawa, who else is lower than Montreal? Huh? Who else? Anybody?
Slavkovsky's so tall.
Who?
Such a big guy. Slavkovsky. A freaking lining now. Yeah, Kirby. Bro, what? That's solid. Then you have
I'm thinking they actually have a very good chance. Like quicker than I thought they would.
They do, but
Of making this not dream team, but like enough of this. Oh, maybe they'll make this playoffs this year. No, we're making a run. If the Canadiens are building, you don't think they're going to do it in the next 2 to 3 years?
Shot, but it's a possibility. With Laine in the team, if he can get back to his first 3 seasons in NHL and score 35, 40 goals.
You're talking about the Laine.
Yeah. Then you have Caulfield who can score
Who can
and
complete.
is not he doesn't have that pressure, and he's gonna be putting
Guys,
in
the
40,
power
40
play.
goals.
Think about the power play. Holy cow.
That's a good point.
That's gonna be
Huge.
huge.
What a change.
I have a
You got
question for
Lane
you.
Hutson.
When was the
Power
last time you saw a power play?
How would you
like
run?
this?
How would you structure your power play with the type of players they have now? Would you do 3 forwards into defense, or would you do 4 forwards?
Four
and then the
forwards,
defense.
1D.
4 forwards, 1D.
Yeah. I'd have
Absolutely.
Caulfield in the back.
When was the last
because
time you could
Laine
do
is-
this?
Huh?
When was the last time the Canadiens can play
You kidding me?
strong
Never.
4 forwards on a
Never.
PP?
They can have 2 solid power play lines because they can't put everybody there.
No.
I think it's worth that one. Like,
Yes.
Your
solid.
question, your Pat, your question was the last time
When was the last time
the Habs could only have one,
Well,
only
one
used one
solid.
defenseman.
one defenseman and 4 solid forwards on their PP?
70s.
That's it. So
Yeah,
now
with
that you
Gila
brought up a
Fleur
good
over
point, you're like, you can actually have one power play. You know that dream team of like having, I'm not gonna name names and teams, but like you always have those teams that their number one power play are like, man, these guys, how can they not get off the ice without scoring? It's
So pumped.
this is it's the first
So
time in a
cool.
long time that you're building a strong.
But they're
power
also
play.
young, right? So
Laine's taking Caulfield's spot in the power play. That's for sure. Most likely.
one's gonna be a bumper. It depends
Caulfield's
what it
probably
is.
going to be freaking. He's probably going to. Like,
Lanny's got a sick one time. Or he's their best scorer.
yeah, of course.
If he gets back to where he's supposed to be.
He should.
where he should be.
Did you guys
He'll be winning.
you guys hear about the report that it was like 4 leaders of the Columbus team that asked to get Laney out, like
Really?
trade him?
Or what?
4 leaders. Who's like the 4 leaders in the team?
But I heard he wanted out.
He wanted out too, but I forgot.
Management problems?
Well, not management, like 4 leaders of the team.
Players.
Yeah, the players.
That's where the problem lies.
told-
He's
It's in the
very
dressing room.
selfish,
Get-
very to
It's the
himself.
dressing room.
Told him to get rid of him and the
Mrazek.
goalie. The goalie.
Mrazek, yeah. Yeah, Mrazek is a problem too. They have to move him.
So that's not good.
It's not good at all. The only reason I see a good fit because Montreal's nowhere near being competitive, right? So why not take a chance?
He's
on
worth a
guy,
chance, for sure. He's
on
worth a chance.
that it's been proven to be a 40, 50, 40. He hasn't scored 50, but he can do it, right? And get somebody on the second line for now until Demidov comes in, and your team develops, your defense develops, and you're ready to be a playoff team. By that time, his contract is finished,
He's finished.
and
Yeah,
you
we've
get rid
already
of him.
traded for assets, man. That's it.
Trade him or not, or just not renew him, right?
Yeah.
2 years. They were trying to get Marchessault, and they wanted him to give 2 years. He wanted 5 years. That's why they did, because their plan is to get somebody in temporarily for the next 2, max 3 years. So it's not like they only went for him. They've been trying all summer. Nothing's been cooking. Nothing materialized. Marchessault, they were gonna get him. He was gonna be playing on their second line for sure. But he wanted 5 years, and it didn't happen. And Montreal doesn't want.
That's not what they're looking for.
If it can be him, why not Laine? It's a bigger risk, but it's a risk we're taking because of their situation, I find.
Speaking of which, Demidov in KHL. Jeez, already his first game, he's freaking sniping.
Oh, yeah,
Not
you
in the
checked out-
NHL.
KHL.
No, he's in the MHL.
MHL? Whatever.
It's the other league. He's going back and forth with him. I don't know if he's going to make the team now.
I saw a clip of him being in his first game at the KHL, and he already scored 2 goals.
Oh yeah, nice. Was it like a
good
preseason
start.
game or was it like a?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
so-
preseason.
So he's probably.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
But no one has mentioned the elephant in the room. Is a recovering something? I don't know if it's alcohol.
Gamer. Gamer.
Huh? The gamer.
Obsessed with gaming.
That's
Who?
what it is.
Ooh,
Laine.
Laine.
And mental issues. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We all know.
Oh, I thought it was substance abuse.
I don't know if
Maybe
that's
a little
involved
bit.
too, but he went into the players' assistance program.
Association.
He just came
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
it.
But usually for substance abuse.
Usually.
Yeah, there is substance abuse.
Well, that's for actually gaming.
It's deeper than that, than drugs. Okay,
Crazy.
it's gaming. Fuck.
He's
Anyways,
big into gaming. but-
Montreal, I think, is the worst city for recovering.
Substance
Start setting
abuse.
the clubs.
Radulov, but when he came, everybody was so scared because there's guys.
Relapse.
He's not going to make it.
He did great in Montreal.
But he's older.
Yeah, but he
was
was a
older when
different
he
He's
player.
came.
getting.
Yeah, he's probably married, had kids. He's probably
Laine just got engaged. So
Okay.
Don't forget, Liney's 26 years old. He's a kid still.
You have to understand it. He came from Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Winnipeg, Columbus. I'm sure they don't have crazy nightlife. So it's like Montreal.
See,
It's gonna be tempting.
yeah, for sure.
He'll see.
I know, but the core of this team is
You'll see.
so different, though. I think they're much more responsible than back in the day.
Listen, I have total
I hope.
confidence in the management team. A lot of negativities bringing him in, but it's worth the risk.
Yeah.
I find.
Is he a married man or not a married man, but like is he
Engaged.
settled down, engaged,
He said he's
family man?
engaged.
He is, right? That could be a factor to
Yeah, if he's engaged,
hold
if
these
he's got
guys
kids,
in Montreal.
He's
And
so
I've kids.
ugly
Other than that-
anyway, guys. The girls don't even like.
Than that.
What is that thing?
he's not the best looking out.
Montreal will take anything
Somebody had
scrap.
a beard.
I've seen you guys with the
guy
Consistent
with a
brothers
freaking
back in
Look
the
at it
day.
this way. You're bringing him all negativity into a team that before nobody wanted to play for. Now there's a lot of positivity. Management-wise, the players that they have, and a coach that's getting a lot of eyes put on him because of what he's doing.
Yeah.
With no experience, he's doing a lot of good. And a lot of players want to play for him. So that's a positive. Positive and a negative?
Spotlight's on you though. Like you're expected to
Also the
produ-
pressure.
Yeah. Well, it's Montreal.
Guy has an addiction. And he's gonna handle the pressure, the press, and all that.
I agree.
In Montreal, that could break somebody. That could definitely break somebody.
2 years though. It's a 2-year risk that's worth it because they're assessing the team, how it's supposed to progress.
No, I
Got
get
nobody
it.
on the.
He's 100% worth the risk. I agree with you. Saying a guy who had I'm assuming.
How does he
Look,
Alcohol.
look at it this way,
How
guys.
does
If we didn't have Laine and we started the season without him, who was going to play on that second line?
Yeah.
It's not going to change anything. Montreal going into the playoffs.
Who
or
does he
not.
replace?
Their numbers. What?
Who does he replace?
Nobody. Who else is going to play? It was going to be.
No, I'm saying
who is he
Say-
replacing right now?
as a forward, exactly. Who is
Line Anderson.
Yeah.
who was-
he replacing
Anderson.
No, Anderson was going to play on the third line with probably Joshua Raw. If he Joshua Raw can sometimes replace him. Don't forget, Javi Pinard is hurt.
Yeah.
He's going to be out.
Is Kirby Doc starting?
Yeah,
Starting?
he's gonna be either a winger or a center. New hook too.
New Hook.
We needed somebody for the second line.
Think off topic from Lane Hutson's gonna make it.
Yeah,
Start. He's gonna
guaranteed.
play. He's gonna play the season.
Yeah, he's gonna make the season. See about the other guy, Mayu might make it too, but Hudson's making the team. I'll be surprised if he doesn't, especially how he performed last year. He's gonna make it.
General, I think that the sharp, they really they're basing their I don't know, how could I say, just like their
Their core.
ensemble as an inclusivity and acceptance, and I think that they're growing to be a family. So for them, I think the Liney was gonna fit in, so hope so.
It's a good temporary
Fix.
fit until they're ready.
See what this 2 year gives us, eh?
Preseason is probably starting when a couple weeks now.
Guys, you want to continue to develop your players with good players until you're ready, right? If you have nobody there,
Nothing to develop.
Nothing
September.
to develop.
Right. September.
September.
End of September.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What?
want to say
Preseason. When is
Season is what, third week of September, Tony?
I don't know, September sometime.
Probably second.
And it's like-
the season starts in October.
It's
How was the week of my birthday?
10th
So
or yeah, it's usually
this is the week of my birthday. So 4 weeks, 3 weeks before. So mid-September, and 4 weeks.
curious to see.
Well,
I think it's a good move. No.
Well, it's definitely exciting. It's been this excited for Montreal in at least a decade. You know, well, you're always
More than that.
excited, thinking this year is gonna be a good year, but I think
It's a big move.
something different this year.
Now
It's
you
a
have
big move.
2 players in Montreal that can potentially hit 50 goals. I think.
That's a high bar. Goals. That's a high bar.
Yeah.
Look, they interviewed Laine and he goes, "You think you
Yeah.
could hit 25, 30 goals?" He goes, "I think I can hit 40 or 50." I go, "I'm striving to that." Playing with confidence. I think Montreal would have, much as all the risks, they wouldn't have brought him in. If they didn't interview him, they didn't see his mindset, they didn't see what he's all about.
Yeah.
Explain to him what the pressure is here. I don't think
but-
they're stupid. Come on.
He's
It's
aware.
easy to assess outside, but think about them being in there and running the business. I don't think they're gonna make stupid. Oh, Laine, let's take him because of it's Laine. No, he's not
Well,
even.
They definitely calculated.
Yeah,
They
come on.
they checked. They dotted their I's, they crossed their T's. They definitely did the research, the due
On top of
diligence.
that, they have Vincent who was there. They have an inside information.
That's
you
right.
know, you know.
That's right.
They,
That's a helper for
for
Laine.
sure.
Not all doing that.
Talk about
No, Vincent.
Pascal
He
Vincent.
worked with him. Yeah, because he worked with
they're
him.
the coach for the Laval Rockets. He was the head coach of Columbus last year. He got
He worked
fired.
with
But
Patrick.
now he's in the Rockets.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of an
They-
inside.
Okay,
He
okay.
knows.
For
I
sure.
thought
how to
you
work
meant
with him.
he called the coach of Columbus or someone
that too.
someone in the management of Columbus.
But
That too.
you know
They're
what?
allowed to
You're not allowed
collaborate.
doing that.
Of course you
No,
could.
but you can have an
No, no,
influence,
no.
right?
No, you're allowed to call the team that you're trading with. Tell me what the issue is. They have to have an open up conversation.
Open converse, yes, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about like
Medical
Yeah.
records. They have to get all the information. Everything's open on the table. But at the same time, they have somebody in their own organization who actually dealt with him all year and knows
knows
the situation
what
that
they're
happened
getting.
with all the players. Okay, what's the situation? Is it worth the risk? No, I don't think they made a dumbass decision.
Yeah, but
If they did,
Tony, at the
it
end
was
of the day,
it was a calculated risk.
yes, but at the end of the day, it comes down to Patrick and what he's going to do on the ice. Like,
I
we
don't
can
disagree.
say all we want, the players, you say he's going to score 50 goals. He's not scoring 50 goals by himself. So if
I don't think he's going to score 50 goals.
No, but what I'm saying is he needs a
Just saying his
team
mindset
behind him.
is impressive.
Gretzky was not scoring all the points without Curry next to him. You know what I mean? Like you need a lineup. You can't be the only superstar out there. That's what I'm curious to see is if the Canadiens are going to stand up. I hope that Patrick comes into the locker room and players around him are going to be like, oh, let's do it. Man, I'm feeling this.
The only
This is
thing
the year.
I want is that he can be selfish like it was in Winnipeg and Columbus saying I'm the man, because I see him as a second line and give the spotlight to the younger guys who have the potential to develop to be those superstar players like Savkovsky, you know?
Tony, do you think he maybe did that based on immaturity because of his age? He wouldn't be the
Yeah.
first player that did that. That came in as I'm a superstar. This is my team. I'll
Well,
carry it.
listen,
You guys follow me. But I'm 22. I'm 21. He had that attitude.
He's young. He didn't know any better. I'm great. I know I can score. I want the spotlight on me. Of course. Immaturity. Hopefully, what he went through in the program
Is he going to let
maybe
that by?
change his mindset. Yeah.
You think in Montreal he's going to come in and he's going to be a team player?
This is why I think Montreal
Yeah.
just didn't just make a decision because of his name. This is why I'm thinking.
Okay.
I still think it's a risk, but I think it's a good risk.
So you think he matured as a player and he's going to?
Well, eventually, people mature, right?
Well,
Came into the
We'll
league at
find out.
18 years old, right? He was drafted number 2 behind Austin Matthews. You know what's the funny thing is? Now he's in the same division as Matthews.
Austin
He got the C.
I thought about that. That's
He
gonna be
got the
interesting.
C.
C. Now he's in Montreal. When he came in, he was with Winnipeg, and every time it was like, who's gonna score? Because they both got drafted 1-2, right? So now it's again round 2.
You think
Matthews is a superior player than him.
You think Matthews is going to do better than him this year?
Matthews is always gonna do better than him? I think Matthews is a great player. I just don't think he's gonna. Whether him getting the C is gonna help Toronto. I think that team is a disaster.
Tavares is out.
No, he's not out.
It's on.
Not out, but he's out of the captains.
No, but hold on.
He gave it up.
He gave
Quote.
Just like Biden gave up the presidency.
Gave it up. Give it up the C.
One question for you guys.
Okay, sorry.
There's been a question on the internet about retiring Carey Price's jersey.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think so. I think you have to at least win a cup to be in the talk of retiring a number, especially.
No, that's a good point. If it was any other city, NHL city, his number would be retired.
Yeah,
But the history in
Montreal, you can't do that.
I don't think so.
You can't do that in Montreal.
you have to win a cup.
He's 100% a Hall of Famer.
I agree.
Yeah,
Gold medal.
100%.
yeah.
Gold medal winner. He's
I was
Olympic.
watching the
Can't see his number.
I was watching
Okay.
the Sick podcast with Toni Marinaro, and they made such a great point. You have players like Steve Shutt and Lemaire who haven't gotten retired yet, and you're gonna go retire 31.
Exactly.
There's pros and cons to both arguments,
No.
but I can see that. You know, Steve Shutt won 8 Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been retired yet.
No, you can't do that.
You're right.
Anyways, that was my only
By
question.
the way, I wanted to also follow up on the Canadiens there. Crave is doing a documentary on them.
On the Canadians.
On the Canadians.
Who?
Crave.
Crave.
Okay.
Yeah, so the
The
rebuilding.
modern.
Yeah, absolutely. Just for like the last season, pretty much, and so I guess this season as well. You know, I'm excited to see it.
Oh yeah, it's HBO.
HBO Crave,
Yeah,
yeah.
because
Is it
HBO
like
used to
a-
make the
Crave is part
24
of HBO?
series.
Is it a 30 and 30? Like those.
No, it was like
Crave.
24. No, it's called 24.
CH.
Yeah, before.
Yeah, they did it
24
for
CH?
they did it for Philadelphia. They did it for Philadelphia one year. They did it for Toronto.
Yeah.
When Toronto lost Montreal, you don't remember that the
Oh, yeah.
Montreal eliminated? They were doing that season was Toronto. You just see the disaster for after the game. You see Austin Matthews just like this.
Mhm.
Like this in the back room. And what was the manager? Dubas, the manager at the time? The young
Kyle
guy there?
Douglas.
Like trying to like cheer him up. The guy was like
He's done.
Matthews.
Did you see the Edmonton Oilers?
I know. I was just going to say that.
Ooh.
McDavid,
That's
just that
crazy, yeah?
feeling of working that 7 game, coming in, you lose it, you sit down, you don't even take off your skates. What's going on? As a team.
I
And
really
you're
hope.
getting
I really hope Edmonton does something to do another big push.
I
They so deserve it.
I agree with you. I agree
Just
with you.
lost 2 players, no? They just from 2 offer sheets?
I
Lost
agree.
2 players?
No, they haven't lost them yet.
No, not yet.
They have to match.
I thought they lost one.
2 players got offer sheeted, but now they have to decide if they match. We're gonna see what happens.
It must
He
be a
was-
tough feeling, though.
he's getting called to win the Conn Smythe. He's in the back.
And he doesn't even go on the ice because right
Yeah, I
decision.
remember
Hold
when
on
that
a
happened. I
second.
found that weird.
You can look at
that
it
he
2
didn't-
ways.
Well,
huh?
no.
Why
Yeah.
take away from Florida?
That's right.
It's a Conn Smythe, take you know, and
You're not at home. You're
No.
you're not.
not
Yeah, but the
okay, I
Conn
wanted
Smythe,
to let them have their night.
the Conn Smythe is not rinky dinky award. It's one of the
You know
biggest
what?
awards.
Listen, it's
McDavid
rare
wasn't
that
there.
an opposite player from the losing team wins, and
It
it's
is rare.
usually a goalie.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
But nobody is there at Game 7 hoping. I hope I win the Conn Smythe tonight. There's not a single player that
Very
is at
true.
Game 7.
Were they home?
No,
No,
they were playing in Florida.
Florida.
Maybe if it was home, maybe if they were home, maybe he would take it.
Even at
'cause the
that.
fans are there.
Even at that, as a player, it's Game 7. I'm not focusing on the Conn Smythe. I don't care about what the fans or some judge thinks about me and my season and the playoffs. I want that cup for me and my team. That's the goal.
Yeah, because it feels like it's a participation award at that
It
point.
is. It's like, oh,
You
thanks for
just
showing
lost-
up. You
You
showed up.
lost the
Get some-
Stanley Cup, and you say you want
This
the
one's for
Stanley-
them. This one's for
Listen,
you.
we're in Florida. The fans are not going to appreciate it. They go, okay, let them have their moment. I'm going to the dressing room.
He did the right thing though. He disappeared.
was
I
that?
hate the way people spin shit. I hate
I
it.
agree.
You don't know. You think he consciously made that decision, or I think he was just destroyed internally. He didn't want to.
I'm pretty sure it was destroyed internally, but I think it had more to do with he was in Florida. He lost the Stanley
Maybe.
Cup, and he goes, okay, let them have their moment.
I think that no person on the Edmonton Oilers that night wanted to hold up a trophy wasn't the Stanley.
I agree.
Perfectly said, Pat.
I
Perfectly
think
said.
that's
That's
what it was.
exactly the way.
No
I
matter
would
who
put it.
you are, there's not one person on that team who wanted to hold up a trophy unless it was a Stanley Cup that night.
The short right there. That's the short.
Done.
Cut.
Sold.
Right about it.
Literally drop the mic.
Drop the mic. About it.
Mic drop. No, that makes total sense.
I'm trying to put myself in.
Look, we're never going to know exactly
You said
what went
it.
through
You're
his
like,
head.
you remember Connor's face in that dressing room, and I think of it. And I'm like, the shit about nothing.
The guy literally carried that team on his back.
Exactly.
What he pulled in the playoffs hasn't been seen in a long time.
No.
Imagine if he seriously they call up his name. Okay. Connor McDavid wins the Conn Smythe, and he gets up and he actually goes and get it. The team was like, "What the?" Honestly, he did.
We would be talking. We would be saying something differently right now. Like fans would be like, "Why did he come out in Florida? Why would you do that? Why would it would destroy his name?" Like you say, I think he knew it in the moment that he wasn't going to do it, but at the same time, who was going to go out to accept the trophy if it wasn't Stanley Cup?
You don't think he knew he was going to win the Conn Smythe Trophy?
Absolutely, everyone.
It's
knows.
2 games before people were saying he was going to win it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he had time to think about what he was going to do.
Who was the runner-up at that point? If I wasn't
Barkov.
Connor, was it Kachuk or?
And
Oh, no, it was
one of the
Bobrovsky.
goalies had a great.
I think it was
I-
Bobby.
I'd say
It was,
I think it was
it
Bobby.
was very hard that it wasn't going to go to him.
Barkov.
It was very rare it was not going to go to Connor.
I agree, but what were we marinating in that subject?
Who decides that? It's reporters and shit, or the Conn Smythe?
I think it is.
The
quite
reporters?
sure.
It's always the reporters, huh? And the
There's
not the
media.
players.
There's a committee.
Yeah, but usually made up of the reporters and people in the media, commentators, those people. Well, definitely the awards at the
Why
end of
don't
the
you
year.
Google it? Check it.
Why does the NHLPA have a little say on that? Like just the Players Association where guys get in from
I
intern?
guess against their interests. No, they're supposed to be every player's the same. Every player's you're not gonna start making them.
Well, no, I think there is a trophy where it's voted by the
The
players.
NHLPA, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so it's supported by the players. But I don't think you think it's associated with the NHLPA.
Maybe not the Conn Smythe.
That's
I
a
wouldn't-
union, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yes.
All right, I think we hit 40 minutes on the Habs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, let's fucking.
We'll do that again this
Season didn't even
season.
start yet.
Hopefully. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah, but it's Montreal.
Let's get deep here.
It's pretty deep.
So I've been, watching a lot of the political back and forth, the RNC, all these speeches. And you see the two contrasts of the speeches, and there's always this. You don't really hear it at the conventions, but you hear a lot of it when it's the media, especially right-wing media. Word woke. You know what I'm talking about? Woke. So I want to go through each of you, and I want to know what is woke mean to you, being woke. Who wants to go first?
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, go first. Woke.
I think it's just a stupid terminology, and I think that it's a very not sensitive to it. I think that we all have.
No, but what does it
opinions.
mean?
Oh, what does it mean?
No, not what, not what it
if
makes
you're
you
asking
feel.
me, my
You, when someone
my
says you're
feeling
woke,
towards
or
it,
those
I
people are
understand.
woke, What does that mean in your head when we're saying that?
Feel they they are sensitive. They need to be catered to their feelings and emotions. And if we don't include those feelings, they are
Then you're wrong.
insulted, and they most of the time, that's fine, and you can do that, but it doesn't mean that I have to necessarily always agree with you.
Right.
But that's a feeling, my feelings, but also woke. I think what woke.
I agree with Steve. I'm going to segue off that sensitivity is that I feel what started that woke mentality is this sensitive culture that people feel like we all want to have our own opinions and we all want to be right and we all want to be reassured that our opinions are right. I need you and you and you to tell me. Oh, I feel like this woke culture created this very like my opinion is also based on the security of those around me to gang up and reassure my opinion. So I'm going to say something extreme because I'm sensitive on a certain subject and in hopes of being right, got my peers that are going to jump in and help me. I think that's what's happening because not every woke opinion is right. It's just a bunch of opinions and just a bunch of gangs behind all this opinion that I'll back you up. That's the way I see it. It's based on the sensitivity of.
Yeah, I think it's oversensitivity. I agree with your comment and your comment, but it's like you can't say anything nowadays. It's everything's offensive. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, seriously. I agree. It's oversensitive. I agree with exactly what you said.
People don't like to be told they're wrong. Have a debate. You're like, got to be right, and if you're against it, well, everybody on you now. So come on, gangs, everybody on you because you're not in on this circle opinion that all of us are in agreement. That opinion, I find it's not necessarily the right one. Seeing it in politics in the U.S. nowadays, with like Trump supporter and the Kamal, make anybody more right than the other. It's just that you feel like your opinion is being attacked. And how can I keep it valid? How can I keep my opinion valid without being like washed away like it's not important? So I think people self-entitlement.
You know what I believe a lot of this woke mentality is provoking this woke mentality? It's social media. A lot of people are being very narrow-minded about what they watch, what they listen. They're not open to opinions or diversifying their views, and this is what it's causing.
Well, social media is
stay in your bubble,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
And you always you're not expanding. You're we have to start taking the hits, man. You gotta go pay taxes. You gotta go and feed your kids. You have so many responsibility ahead of you. Never mind that my little opinion that hurts your feelings has hurt this generation. What are we becoming, a bunch of Karens on a grand scale here?
We're losing the thick skin.
We need thick skin.
We need
to have some.
Absolutely. Agree.
I'm not that I don't I guys want to be transgender. You want to get your kids getting mastectomies. Hey, at a certain point, you can't just so sensitive towards feeling. Feeling is the worst. Okay, when I'm going to talk about my subject afterwards, and it's going to be about
Trading with feelings.
It's you can't trade feeling with feeling.
Can't.
Oh, of course not.
It's
Can't.
you see, it's Price. You know, you don't feel Price. You see Price, and it's a fact. You know, can't because you don't think and you don't feel you're that person. Anyways, I'm going really deep. You want to go that deep, and that's how I feel. I feel as if like people are too sensitive to feelings, and that backfires. And as you can see, a lot of times actually have these inner feelings. It's so deep in these feelings, and the next thing you know, they kill themselves because they're so sensitive to feelings. We need to desensitize our feelings and do the right thing. Just care for one another. We're looking inwardly when we should be looking outwardly. How about that?
What's your suggestion for the next wave of people like our kids?
Well, you're doing the great step.
in the parks.
No, not in that sense, but I mean, like you're coaching children's, and you're teaching them to be with, a team spirit, to like help them nurture that.
Mhm.
Because a lot of these children out there that develop these psychological issues,
Yeah.
looking inwardly,
Right.
when they should be looking outward.
I see
That's my
that.
opinion.
Point. That's a good point.
You guys pretty much defined woke, but on
Yes.
the part or the view of a conservative right winger. Because woke
Excuse
is
me?
not.
Repeat that?
You guys defined woke as what a conservative right winger defines woke. Okay, because
Right.
originally woke was not intended for what you guys just mentioned.
Mhm.
This is something. So quick question: when did you hear about? Like, how many years ago did you hear the term woke?
5 years.
In the last 5 years.
4 years, yes, since COVID.
Before the Me Too movement of George Floyd and all that.
Exactly. That's when it came back to
Right.
modern.
Right.
Was the BLM
Right. Black Lives Matter
protests?
Me Too movement.
Ferguson
hashtag.
protest. Anyways,
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you example, just like you guys talked about. A MAGA, what a woke
Okay.
means to them.
All right.
You define woke as?
Let me start here.
Wokeness.
I'm not good at defining woke. Let him do that.
You're not
but
good at defining anything.
Woke is accepting everything that is evil. So, for instance, monster cans. Each line represents a 6.
What are you talking
So you
about?
got 666. And then if you look
What
on the
is
monster
going
can
on?
itself, in the O of the monster, it has a cross, and it's got represents the Antichrist.
Look at the
So when
chick's
you
face.
drink it,
She
you've got
lost
the cross
interest.
coming down.
She's like, what the
is he dumb?
fuck is this?
That's
guy
wokeism,
talking
sort of in a nutshell.
Yes, in a nutshell, it's accepting everything that's evil as good.
Cliff notes of wokeism.
Do you have
right
another
here.
example of when you run into wokeism?
what they're doing with the schools
Like,
and the children and trying to indoctrinate them. I have a granddaughter who's 6 years old. And
you have a granddaughter?
yeah,
Wow, you look great for having a granddaughter.
thank you.
Tell me then, so what kind of indoctrination? I'm asking you just for specific.
I like to graduate high school in Stevens Point. I mean, I have it on my phone. It's talking about gender issues and issues that shouldn't even be discussed in school. And pushing young children. If it were up to my granddaughter, she would be a dog. And they would be letting her crawl around on the floor and identify as a dog until 2 weeks from now, then she'd be a cat. And they're letting children transition or telling them to keep it from their parents and pushing them to get gender reaffirming care and keep it a secret from their parents. That's not school.
And that's happening at school? There are cases specifically?
All over the United States. And we are fighting school boards left and right.
Wokeism. That's horrible.
I love that hat, though.
It's borderline mental issues, I guess I would say. I mean, if you don't know what you are and you can't see what's going on right now in front of our eyes, it's something's definitely wrong with those individuals.
What is it about?
As you saw, I don't even know. There's not really a strong definition on the right side. People has their own opinion, and usually it comes around to things about transgender. Usually stuff about, I don't know, evil or oppression, or they feel
Right,
always around
Anthony?
that theme.
I feel like we got lack of answer because of lack of education.
Yeah.
That's what
and
I
they-
feel.
Not
The Young
necessarily
Turks-
education, but lack of being informative.
There's a lot of people talking out here
So
about
you're
woke.
ignorant about what you don't know, and you're trying to make up an answer.
The Young
Ignorance
Turks
was the
love
word
to
that I was
choose
going to.
the perfect
Thank you.
type of MAGA guy. These are so
you guys,
clever.
clever.
Pat.
you guys practically just said what they said. They just sound very dumb doing it.
Yes.
You guys pretty much sound the same thing. So don't tell. Yes, they sound stupid and like they don't know what the hell they're talking about. The guy's talking about Monster Can energy drink. It's a sign of evil because you guys wrong. I'm sorry, but you guys were wrong what woke meant. I'm just giving you other examples.
Oh, who?
An idiot.
I'm gonna cut you off for a second.
Sure.
Where and why wasn't the woke definition ever explained properly?
It is explained.
Where?
I'm getting to that.
Okay, we're discussing it, me and you, but
Yeah.
Why isn't it just here? Just have
Why
to
isn't it a
accept
rule? Why isn't it?
We're here.
out
We're
there?
woke, and nobody's explained it ever properly.
It is
Thank you for
explained
explaining.
properly, except what happened in the last 5 years, especially conservative media, they converted it into a catch-all for anything that is socialism, anything that you think is impeaching on your free speech, cancel culture, transgender, but anything to talk about the sense of active racism. That's woke. Like, you guys ever heard of critical race theory? It's basically the education system in the United States wants to teach kids basically the bad things that that was caused by racism, inequality, historically, slavery. And some states don't even want in the history books your children learning that there even was slavery. They want to eradicate that because they think it's too harsh on your children. They want to eradicate any. I don't know if I don't know if you're aware. Yeah, it's really hard listening to yourself. I don't know if you're aware in the United States, there's practically a bit, kind of a book burning happening. They're banning books.
Yeah.
Right now, you can do any petition and they'll ban a book. Any conservative Christian parent, they have like one bad word, or they're talking about young love or something a little sex, it's banned.
But that's soft. I find that's.
But these are the people that are saying about woke, that the world is too woke. We want to bring back anything that attacks traditional life. They're woke and they consider right. Like you guys said, don't tell me how to think. If I think this way, I should think about. It's not woke. That's someone having an opinion. It's not woke. You know what the history of woke is? Woke came from 1930s. For black people, used to tell themselves, because black people back then. When you watch old slave movies, stuff, how they spoke, they kind of spoke uneducated.
I watched Django last week.
Exactly.
Right.
And woke is basically
R's in that movie.
basically woke is just be aware of racial of the white supremacy, beware of the Jim Crow laws, and just stay alert. Watch where you walk, which neighborhood you walk, and they'll hang you. And it came from that. be woke, stay woke. And then it came back during the BLM, the Ferguson protest. They're saying woke, basically wake up. Wake up to the world. Realize there's systematic racism, that there's big difference between who cops are shooting, black people compared to white people. Wake up, guys. Are you guys aware that a black man getting arrested has a huge percentage higher possibility of being shot from that arrest than a white person?
But didn't Rodney King happen in the 90s? And nothing happened since then. Like, I mean,
They
why
have
all of a
social
sudden now it's
media.
woke? So that should have been woke.
What's your mic?
So
They didn't have social media. Woke came back more in the lexicon of our lives because of social media. Hashtag woke.
it's more aware because of the...
Saying stay woke, be aware, wake up to what's really happening to black people in
Okay.
America. And that's where it comes from. And then white people hijacked it, hashtag woke, to say, we see you, stand with you in solidarity. So white people start going, woke, woke, woke. But then conservatives starting using woke as just to fight cancel. Anybody that had an opinion or somebody disagree with you, oh, that's woke, trying to cancel me. All this transgender LGBTQ, call me by my pronouns. Oh, that's woke. So
Of course, that's also part of.
no, but they hijacked. That's not part
Part of the
woke.
culture, yeah.
They just did a catch-all
Collective.
word. Just anything that I don't understand.
Falls
that
in.
It's not the usual way of life. That's woke, and they're trying to take over the world. They're trying to force me to see what you see. It became such a bad word when it actually started from a good origin.
intention.
Good sword, yeah.
It was just saying that I'm awake. I understand what's happening, or you should wake up and understand what's happening. And it's just, I'm not living the same life as you. So wake up from your dream life and welcome to my nightmare. That's where woke came from.
That makes sense. I mean, like, I totally understand that point of view, and I'm wondering.
Yeah, but that's where woke came from, but that's not where woke is now and what people think it is.
Of course. It's just what you hear on the right wing. You hear Trump, you hear MAGA guys, don't even know what it means. Check this video. Become such a hot word politically.
Right. Do you like acknowledge that it's not just the word woke, how that you've explained it and defined it to us,
Yep.
in a sense where it comes from and where it's going, and even on the left side, you not agree that it's a bigger picture now, right?
It's magnified.
I understand what you're saying.
Races.
It shouldn't be using the word woke. They kind of hijacked the word, and you guys kind of use the word in the way how they hijacked it. And you're right with feel. You're right how they feel what's happening and stuff like that. I'm just saying it shouldn't have been called woke. It should have
never been tied together.
Exactly. It got tied together and it lost value of what it really came from. Now people are just the woke mob. Elon Musk calling it the woke mind disease killed my son, right? Because his son became a woman or something. And it just became it's almost like they wanted to kill that word. It's almost like when Obama came up with the Affordable Care Act, they called it Obamacare to give it a bad like feeling about it. Like, oh, Obama did it. Don't like it. It's kind of, the conservatives are very good at that. Taking something that's positive or good, they use it to make it to turn it on them, to turn on a dime and make it basically hijack it and use it in their for their advantage. An author
Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure.
She wrote, a conservative author wrote a book about woke. She wrote a whole book about it. This reporter just asked her, to you, what is woke?
Sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean, woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral.
And it did. That incredibly cringy moment featuring a conservative author by the name of Bethany Mandel.
You didn't even know what woke is. And you see from the other MAGA people, they're talking about schools wanting my son to be allowed to be a dog. That's basically, they have these ideas in their head. They don't like them. It's woke. And it's not even true. It's like, these are constructs in their head that they think there's a big war. They think children are being mutilated every day to be a woman. And that's not true. I think in the States, not exactly the number, but I think it was like 400 kids that actually went through this, through an operation. Out of 350 million, it's nothing. And they make it seem like they're coming for your children. They're trying to trick your children to become the opposite sex, and it's not. And they calling it woke. I guess my point is that it was something good, and they're just using it to demonize what they believe is bad. So that's
Would the Young Turks, do they define woke as what you?
Of course. It's being awake to system. It's originally it's being awake to systematic racism and injustice, social injustice to minorities, and then it grew into sexual orientation, your gender, and just other marginalized people came under that umbrella. Diversity in the workplace. It's like, wake up, like we should have more women. Shouldn't be all just white guys in corporations. And that's what it is. And when you say woke, kind of makes sense. Wake up to what's happening in the world. And they think woke is just someone who disagrees with you, and they're socialists, they're Marxists, they want to cancel you.
I'll interrupt you, but the real official, you ever thought of racism as being woke, being, people say wake up to the New Testament. It's actually religion. Wake up to Christianity.
Okay, yeah.
That's where see that. Officially, I think, started, because they still use that in Christianity when they're trying to wake you up. Hey, read
what's going on. Yeah,
Testament. Read the gospel. Read the new
word of the Lord. It's all about preaching.
It's always
preaching. Yeah. Well, I the reason why, because I have experienced it myself. Yeah. So that's when I hear woke,
there's an underlying
really thing
like.
But that's more like an awakening. Sure. Awakening. Well, that's what it is, right?
Well, that's where it comes from, right? Wokeness.
I don't think it could be right.
It's like an awakening, but right? I understand. Like, shouldn't you wake up? Like, it's like be with the times. Like, what's going on here?
But I think that's more like being enlightened. New God or new. It's not really wake up, bro. Your God was wrong. This is the new God. This is like. It's more of like an awakening in your soul and being enlightened. Woke, stay woke was more like, bro.
Stay up with the times?
No, well, modernly, yes. It's like, be aware that people are treated different than you across this country. Back then, it was more like life or death. Stay woke, be aware, be on your tippy toes. When you walk at this area, when you walk down in this town in Mississippi, be aware you might get lynched.
Yeah.
So that's
okay. Be aware of your surroundings, your environment. Your
Let's
environment
see
in which
what Vivek was gonna.
Yeah.
So the new popular talking point on the American left is that conservatives can't define the word woke, even as they continue to.
It's true. They do have a hard time actually defining what woke is. They know how they feel about it. They know that it's something that they think is imposing on them. Can't really define what woke is. This guy's going to try and define it.
To be anti-woke. Here's the one thing I'll admit, okay? There are a lot of Republicans who don't know what they mean when they use this word. But that just gives an opportunity to the left to ridicule Republicans, when what we actually need to do as Republicans is to take the debate to their turf and win. So you don't know what woke means? Here's what it means. I'm going to define it in neutral terms that nobody can deny, okay? Being woke refers to waking up to invisible alleged societal injustices based on genetically inherited attributes.
Very bad what he said. Invisible. He's saying being awoke to things that don't really exist. And that's very bad that he said that. So basically saying there's no social injustice, there's no racial injustice. It's an invisible construct and you're being awoke to that. So that's very bad that he said that. But basically that's what I'm saying. Except he's saying it's not real. I'm saying it is real.
Okay, but Vivek, what he usually he believes black, white, yellow, orange, doesn't matter what color you are, you have the same opportunity if you want it. Okay, it's an actual.
So you start from the same starting line. You don't.
That doesn't matter.
Of course it matters.
No, as an American, you could be in the slums. You could be something if you really want to.
No, but the majority of people in the slums are not white people.
I understand.
So you're not starting from the same starting line. You could finish at the same finish line.
100%.
But you're not all starting at the same starting line. So it is. Yeah, you come in from a family that came with $5 in their pocket. And the guy, a white boy that's been here 4 generations, who has more of an opportunity.
I'm kind of understand his.
Okay, let's go back to these.
Race, sex, and sexual orientation. And further, it creates a hierarchy based on these genetic attributes to say that you're either an oppressor or you're a member of an oppressed class, which creates these invisible relationships that creates a social hierarchy.
It bothers me that he says that, invisible. It really bothers me.
And what they say is we need to turn that social hierarchy upside down, or at least even it out, by using any means necessary, not just through government, but even through the private sector, even through our schools, and even through our economy itself, including the use of quota systems based
called socialism.
Sorry?
That's called socialism.
When everyone's the same?
What he's talking about, what left wants to I want to shit on what woke means, but I understand his perspective, where we're individuals, and whether you're from the slums or you've been in 10 generations in slavery, especially, you can wake up and actually think out of yourself if you want it. It's harder, of course. It's even more successful and beautiful to attain. And of course, it's sad to see that there's communities that are just in shambles. But honestly, these people, sometimes they're just as happy as a freaking billionaire, right?
Yes, but that's the state of mind. It has nothing to do with injustice. Let me ask you, you think we'd be saying the exact same thing if he drove a nice car, once a month, got pulled over just for questioning? Think you'd have the same kind of attitude? Or you would feel the oppression? You would feel that that guy doesn't go through the same world as I go through.
Eric, can you repeat that question?
Wasn't a question. I was
interrupting.
Him driving? Okay. So I was saying, would he be saying the same thing? He has money, but he drives a nice car. every time he drove, not every time he drove, let's say once a month, cop pulls him over and to ask random question, you think he would be saying the same thing all the time? Because he would feel how it feels to be oppressed or be just bothered because of the color of his skin. Well, he's dark
Not a white
skinned.
man.
Huh?
Not a white man.
Yeah, but think Indian descent people get pulled over like black people get pulled over?
No, but he is a minority in skin color versus the whites. So he does he should be feeling some sort of.
He probably feels some sort of racism, but I'm sure he doesn't feel from justice or police wise. I doubt he feels any pressure from them. Okay? I'm sure people call him a, very derogative words, packy or whatever. I'm sure he feels that in his lifetime. But you think this guy can walk down like I said, walk down a nice car in the middle of the night and cop not pull him over? I'm sure that doesn't happen to him. But a black guy that happens to a lot of times because they assume it might be stolen or, some. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm saying if that happened to him multiple occasions, I don't think he would have the same attitude that he has now. An invisible construct. Anyways.
I understand the invisible word that bugs you. For sure.
Do you understand why?
Yeah, of course.
Because you make it seem like it's not an issue. People are creating this issue. It's not a real issue, and I think that's wrong for him to say that.
Based on race, gender, and sexual orientation to correct for those alleged societal injustices. That is what it means to be woke. That is what the woke movement is all about.
Okay, Cuomo, by the way, he killed it at
the big question.
The Democratic convention.
Do you want to know the
I like Cuomo.
But do you know,
didn't watch him.
He was at the DNC.
I didn't watch him at the DNC.
He was saying...
He did a speech?
Yeah, at the speech.
He did a speech on stage or he commented?
No, he was just commenting.
Okay.
And he was talking about Kamala and whoever it was saying, like, that targeting corporations and targeting all the rich and blah, 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 right? All that's what rhetoric that they use. Almost says, guys, do you realize in order to get talking Kamala, whoever it is talking about the rich and the corporations, they're going to taxing and this, but those same people are watching. They're in the lodges. In order to get into that lodge, it's $500K just to get in. The hypocrisy that they're the one that are funding, and they're funding it like big money. Freaking back in the day, it was just millions. Now it takes billions to fund this type of campaigns.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah?
It's hundreds of millions minimum.
Hundreds of millions. Billions.
No, but
not billions. Close to $1 billion. She just raised 500 million.
In that.
So don't bullshit me and say that Kamala is going to do anything different. She was part of the problem with Biden anyway, by the way. Just same, like, oh, we're going to do the rich. We're going to do this to that. In the end.
They are taxing the rich.
Yes.
They're bringing it to a 28%. 20%.
They want to increase it.
8%.
But guess they always find loopholes. The rich, they're there. They're watching because they want to know exactly how are they going to maneuver out of these situations. So
they tell all their accountant, watch tonight, watch the DNC.
Such bullshit. So and it doesn't matter whether it's right, left, who the fuck is
it's a difference. The right, the left.
Doesn't matter.
I understand what you're saying.
Deficits will always be the ones that matter. Okay, as you can see right now, we're just in this loophole of more and more deficit. The only reason that we're growing as a society is because of deficits and because the government is getting bigger. And without that, we're just gonna shrink. Deflation happens, and that's where. But the central bank will never allow that. Governments will allow that. But they want the power. It's all about power.
Never going to happen.
the government be a small size organization, and now it's become all we think about and all we talk about, and we're always we need them.
What kind of government? A
we
government
start?
that doesn't
Right
take
or
care.
left, it doesn't matter.
We say a small government. It should be a small government, meaning
Hold on.
the government does nothing for you, just takes care of the army,
Yes.
highways and bridges, and what?
Yeah, simple. Keep it. Look at Milei, the Argentinian president that just got in.
Yep.
He's officially, I would say, a libertarian. Okay, and what did he do when he promised to get in? He had a chainsaw. He says, I'm going to be cutting all the government.
Not doing good.
No, he's doing fantastic. In 6 months, the government already has surplus. Okay,
He's actually been
No.
there's no more deficits.
I was reading it was going bad. Argentina was going down.
Who you reading?
Hey, what's his name? Mele, no?
Yeah, Argentinian. Javier Milei. That's it.
Yeah.
Falls again. Yeah, that's what I read.
Argentina economy stalls again. That's okay.
Suffers defeat on pension spending.
Nobody wants to get their pensions cut. But that's how you eliminate all these surpluses, all these deficits, to eliminate taxes. All these government spending. They had this ministry and that ministry, whatever ministry, cut them all.
The President Milei, the worst economic crisis.
6 months he's there.
Yeah, I remember he was doing bad. Maybe he recovered, but this is in June.
Look at their surplus.
July
right now.
24th.
Okay. Buenos Aires in the
Anti-government probe paralyzed downtown Buenos Aires.
Anti-government. We do anti-government protests all the time. But it's going to take.
Political establishment's failure to fix decades of crisis in Argentina explains the tide of popular rage that evolved. So I'm getting two different stories here. You're telling me it's good? These guys are telling me it's bad. Associated Press.
There nobody wants this guy to become a superstar, okay? Because if he becomes a superstar, it's a big change for mentality towards government.
What's he doing specifically?
He's axing taxes. He's axing government spending. So all that there's a ministry for education. He wants to eliminate it. Make privatization of education.
It's a good thing. Privatization.
I
make schools profit.
I look
profit
at
business.
All I'm
think
gonna
that's the worst
say
thing.
is the healthcare system in Quebec. Okay, we're becoming privatized more and more as we go.
Yeah, we are.
Why? Because we're spending
Response in the public.
so much money on Medicare, and we're not
And
even
we're not getting
the
anything.
services because it got distributed in so much bureaucracy. And that's what happened is bureaucracy takes over, and then you don't even get the service. Pay for what you get. You don't even know, guys. When was the last time you look at your Medicare bill and you go to the doctor and you're like, "Oh yeah, I spent $2,000 for a visit." Don't even get that, and you don't even know what you're spending. Nobody does.
Be honest, I gotta say, recent times, if I want answers, I'm going private. Like if I need something
could,
quick,
for sure.
like let's say, God forbid, something happens, we need a scan on our knee, anywhere, just need anything, and you need it tomorrow.
Yeah,
going private.
But it's not because
Going
it's
private,
better. It's just it's faster.
That's right.
But
But don't we live in a day and age where if it's your health, I don't have 3 weeks. Wait, I don't have maybe 2 months on a wait.
No, exactly.
If I have the funds for it, I'm going private. So if that mentality starts catching on, it's exactly what Steve said.
Education.
Yeah.
You know how much we spend per a taxpayer for education? Nobody does. Nobody. Well, I mean, like if you
Where's
really
it
make
going?
your homework, if you do your homework, but like as a general question, Like I find as if like it's like I explained the last podcast. They're saying that we're spending $81 billion on just on interest in Canadian government, just on interest. And you don't know what it equals out to per taxpayer. It's all kinds of money. It's 2,000 to plus per taxpayer. That's not even
That's
touching our
ridiculous.
medical bills. All
Yeah.
right. So what is our education? How much is it per person? How much is Medicare per person? So on.
We're
So
not-
what if we actually budgeted our own taxes, on our own
It's more
self?
transparent. We just saw where it was going.
So I think that this guy, he's onto something in libertarian sense. Like I mentioned about 10%, just flat tax everybody. Keep it simple. Keep the government as small as possible.
Keep the billionaires happy.
Billionaires
income?
are always going to be billionaires, man. There's whether left or it doesn't matter. They're always there, unless you really drive them out.
The rich aren't going
like
to
a communist country.
Yeah.
Then they say ciao.
Go Russia.
Speaking of transparency, I always felt or wished or envisioned blockchain being part of government.
Really?
In the sense of, imagine voting for all these little things. You just go home online, go on for 20 minutes, and you go and you just vote for little things.
Yep.
And that would give power to so much. You don't even need a politician anymore. People can just vote, go
And it
online.
would create the power. It would just
Stuff like, should we have a bike lane on Bordeaux
and people
Street? No. It would, instead of having one person decide, everyone can decide it from their on your phone. Yeah, what should I vote on today? Oh, there's 10 things to vote on. Pam, 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 pam. I think it would run much better. I don't know if things would get done, or maybe things wouldn't get done because everyone wants to be cheap. But I think it would really represent.
That's the problem. is
People.
that everyone wants to be cheap, but everyone wants to get everything done. Their own, like, I want Medicare, I want this, I want pension.
But imagine you pick a decision about, should we redo the park? It's going to cost this much money. You could vote like that. And that's what the blockchain would be awesome for. Decentralized voting system for your community.
Well, if they're presented, okay, here's our budget, here's our main problems that we
This
have.
how much it would cost you in taxes at the end of the year. It would tell you how much tax you're spending. Like, wouldn't that be a crazy It would be terrible because nobody would want to spend money.
Yeah, but it'd be a lot more transparent.
Exactly. And you have the power at your fingertips.
Or would you rather keep the park as it is?
Right? Yeah.
Put that
keep the
money
park as it
elsewhere.
is. You don't have to pay as much taxes next to it. That's it. Nice.
Anyways, I envision one day blockchain being government in the sense of
It's not a bad idea, Brian. Honestly,
because no one could corrupt those votes.
No, I agree.
That's one good thing about blockchain.
You don't have this one person that can get corrupted.
You don't have a
can
database
corrupt.
that everybody makes their votes on, and that database can be corrupted. But this database, everybody has that.
Everyone has a
database.
share of
Everybody has a
it.
copy
Right.
of that
That's right.
database.
Right.
That's uncorruptible.
Transparency. We said transparency is the key. If you want things to work, so you don't hide things from anybody, you got to be transparent. It's the best way how things are coming in and they're going out. What are we paying for? How are we taking the money? How are we controlling it?
It's never gonna happen though. Everybody has an agenda.
Again, like at the beginning, everybody has.
One of
their
us
own
run
agenda.
for mayor and implement the system.
It's easier said than done, I guess, because like we all have the ideas, but
The issue is like maybe it'll work for the younger generation, but you think parents or grandparents are gonna log on to an app and start voting, and very new generation thing.
I agree.
No, just like these ideas, we're thinking about us because we're the best generation.
The greatest generation ever. Never went to war. Had no really financial issues.
All we do is speculate.
We survived COVID. That's what we did, guys. Right. We did it.
They'll figure it out, the kids.
I don't know, man. In 20 years, we're going to look back and we're going to be like, that was a time that just changed the COVID. Like you just said, COVID. We have the BC before Christ, after Christ. We have what happened before Christ. I think COVID is before COVID.
9/11.
9/11. Same thing. TSA, we talk about airports, security, countries, blah, blah, blah. Pre 9/11, after 9/11 was kind of a mark in the historic timeline. COVID's the same thing. We're living through a timeline right now. I feel it with Trump as a president, COVID, and we're going through something right now. Me Too movement. You said it. The whole there's a lot of I think what's going to happen is softer are going to get softer, the harder are going to get harder. There's going to be a split happening. Things going to happen. There's going to be a divide because nobody can soft up to this, Me Too movement. And everybody's got an opinion. Be soft to everybody. Be careful. Everyone's got an identity. Identify as a dog. You want to be a microphone.
What's wrong with being a microphone?
It's my microphone.
But I'm going to give you guys an idea of what's going on, guys. Let's talk about the skin in the game, baby.
Show me the skin.
The skin in the game. So just recently, I just learned of actually funded futures account. So it's like a brokerage that teach you how to trade. Well, not necessarily teach you, but give you the basics, and you may develop your own strategy. Because futures is a leveraged game. So
your stocks.
You want to dumb it down? Dumb it down.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So futures is let's just say once upon a time you're a farmer. Now this crop this crop that you're about to sell, you're not sure of the quality it might be and the quantity that you might be able to sell, and you don't know what necessarily the price of, who knows how much the supply is going to be. So imagine that you're selling corn. Well, what is it per bushel that you want to sell? You're in December. You don't know what your June, July crop is going to be. So you're going to sell this futures contract to a speculator, right? Speculator is going to take that contract and buy for himself, let's say, 100 bushels of corn at a certain price, and by June the price might have gone down. So if you
called it,
then you bought it. Out. Yeah. You bought the contract, actually lower. Well, the farmer made the money. He's going to supply that at that price that you asked for.
He basically bet on himself.
He says, you just want to secure whatever. Let's say if he's got,
he's securing a purchase order. Is that what he's kind of doing?
He's securing his future crop. Okay, so let's say if he's got usually 1,000 bushels, he'll sell 500 at a certain price, just to make sure that he gets a decent price now in the future. And it might be that the next 500 bushels that he sells might be in a higher price, but at least he secured himself a price that's reasonable for himself,
right?
Not in a higher profit, but a reasonable profit.
Secured it.
Yeah. So basically, it's like, for me to understand, when somebody builds a new condo complex, they try and sell 70% of it before they build it.
Sure.
It's kind of like that, right?
It's
guaranteeing 70% people are buying it. So I feel comfortable to build a whole condo.
Yeah. 100%.
Good. Okay, so I got it now.
That's the idea. And there's different type of contracts. Corn, cattle. You got silver, of course, gold.
Always like natural thing? It's always that?
There's also stocks, the general index. So S&P, NASDAQ, the Russell, Bitcoin too nowadays, and Ethereum, which is really new, which is pretty impressive, right?
Ethereum is not new?
Yeah? No, Ethereum contracts for futures.
Okay.
Futures, there's a futures contract, which created more liquidity, more speculation.
For that.
Sometimes a little more negative downside to it, because if you look at it on a scale for silver, for me, I'm a big silver investor. There's so many contracts. It's more paper than there is physical. Okay, you understand?
More virtual silver than real silver.
100%.
That's terrible, no?
It's terrible, yeah. So that's why I believe that eventually the actual
is that legal?
It's legal, but the problem is that there's so much paper out there for physical, that ratio physical to paper assets, be copper, gold, silver, it could create a big problem. You are a holder of a coin. There's 10 out there of paper. Okay, easily.
The guy's thinking it's as valuable as a coin, but it may not be.
Yeah. There's on the futures, by the way, the futures contract is an actual redeemable contract. So if you purchase yourself, because say there's a micro and a mini contract. And the micro is about 100 ounces of silver or 100 ounces of gold. And a micro is 1,000. Now, if you're an investor, you just margin, you see a super great price on silver, you put a 15% down on the whole contract of about 100 or 1,000 ounces. And if it grows, all of a sudden, the price of silver went from 20 to 30. Well, guess what? You don't have to put as much front anymore. You can start.
Okay, let's say, saying numbers.
Yeah.
Let's say back to the chicken.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Is chicken's a future? It's possible?
Cattle. You can just use cattle.
So I buy 500 cows at $200, whatever. I paid the purchase. But let's say later on goes up the price of cow. Am I stuck, but I still get only 300, or I get the price cattle is at current?
Depends on what you want to do. I mean, like, if you're putting a deposit down on 300 cows.
Not 300 cow, 300 a cow.
Yeah, exactly. So at 300 at a cow, you're putting the deposit down at 15%. Now, let's say in 6 months.
Goes up cow.
It's at 500.
Do I have to pay 500 a cow? Or I get...
No, you just collect the difference. So you collect the difference, or you can redeem that contract. If you put the rest of the actual contract. But you can have less. So let's say the original amount of the deposit was $1,000, but because it went to 500, like you were saying, full amount originally you had to put, I don't know, 300,000. Now, because it went so up, you only had to put 100,000. So it's a big difference. That's what a futures contract is. Very powerful. And so, but it's a double-edged sword, right?
Right. Leverage
is a double-edged sword. The futures contract, this platform. I just learned Topstep, and it's literally a week. Okay. And there's a challenge. And there you go. This is my live screen. This is my first week.
You're down 1,000.
No, my worst day was 1,000. Guys, that day I would have made money.
Steve, is there anything that should be blocked here?
It's all good. I think yeah. Whatever. You could just erase my profit jerk there if you want, if you can.
Steve,
everything else safe? Show.
Can you just explain to me the basics of what Topstep is? Is like
yeah. So the platform itself. Platform is a company that is trying to find traders that are profitable.
Okay.
What they do is they created a challenge. This is a $50,000 you can trade with.
The fake account.
It's
playing with fake money.
Fake money,
but you're showing what you can do with that fake money.
You're using
and
signal.
and then they'll back you if you do good.
Eventually, yes.
Topstep will actually let you play with real money.
So it's like what we did in high school with that fake trading when they were teaching us what trading was. Stock
High school.
Well, was it high school or
maybe
probably
business in CJEP or something?
Well, when we started the internet, wasn't there like a?
If you do well, they're gonna back
No,
you with
it
real
wasn't.
money.
It wasn't computers. They would give us like a. I literally remember reading the Nasdaq, and we would follow the newspaper with our $5,000 account.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It was high school, something like that. But they would give us a budget, and whoever at the end of 3 weeks would be the most profitable.
Mr. Economics.
I never did that.
He died.
Maybe you guys had Petrillo or something?
No, Redface.
Redface.
I know. I forget it.
Steve,
Yeah.
if you do well on this challenge, then they back you with real funds.
Insulet.
Sorry.
Asking him if he does well on this challenge, and they back him with real funds.
Yeah, exactly.
So continue.
Well, the original, this initial challenge, like you have to get an activation fee, whatever. You know, everybody that does this is an activation fee, and per month you have to pay their services of platform, because you're using Trading View, you're using all these charts, live market feed. Okay, so the actual object. See the. So you may see my account balance.
Can I see a live market? Can I see
of course.
Where is it? Where I click?
So I'll give you, Brian, before you go ahead, I just want to explain this platform again. The objective, in order to get funded live money, is to make $3,000.
Make 3,000?
Yeah. Okay.
That's it?
On 50,000.
Okay.
Right?
So they give you 50,000, you have to make 3,000 profit.
Yes. Now there's parameters. In a day, I cannot lose. You do not exceed $1,000, right? Which I've already done once.
Yeah, I found that weird. They don't want you to make too much profit. That's interesting.
As a trader, no. It's you have to be able to cut
within the parameter.
Cut your loss. Be able to take a bad day.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
That's a trader day. Yeah.
But they're saying they don't want you doubling, doubling.
But that's what I was doing that day, which was yesterday, dude. Of course, I would have made my money back because I did not respect their parameters. I got stopped out. I got locked out of their site. I was like, dude, I got right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they have their number, and that's it. They just lock you out. For us, I swear, 15 minutes later, I would have been up. But anyways, I did not do the due diligence, and so, or else if I didn't have that day yesterday, right now I'd be up at like 2,000 for sure. So now, my high account was, as of yesterday's before the close, was at 50,900. My low was 49, which is I respected. We lost $150 pretty much. Pretty good, if you ask me. And this is only in a week. Okay, I just learned about this platform, which is pretty fun. Okay, so if you want to launch Topstep, see that? Yes, exactly. This is the actual. Oh shit.
Same thing.
Now you get to see signals. You get to see the actual charts and different time frames, price, contract that you want to choose, gold, silver, and
you're free to do what you want.
Yeah, if there's nobody
there's no
coaching
parameters on what you can invest in.
You have to develop your own strategy. Okay. Yeah. So guys, I love this stuff. Okay. I never knew about. I do trading on my own. I do options and stuff. But this is a much more leveraged. Dude, there's guys that make $10K in an hour. If they have a strategy, boom, boom, boom. I've done a bit of a stage at Tactical. It's a company that does trading, and we were taught in a certain way, but there was a few guys go in.
Aggressive.
No, they just had a strategy. But they're next to me and they come in at 8:30. Watch the markets. They're ready
Do it
for
at
the
9.
markets. 9:35 pretty much. 9:30. 10 o'clock it hits the
done.
tape. By
Done
10:30
by
they're
10:30.
done.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I look over their screen. This guy's
Yeah.
already taking
Yeah.
off. He's closing his computer. I look at his screen. He's up three grand,
Yeah.
$4,000.
Yeah, but these are guys that are looking at volume and a whole bunch of different.
Depends on what strategy. And now I'm developing my own. So as you can see, I'm stuck on silver because I'm a silver. I know silver
freak.
pretty well. So as you can see, I have the green line, I have the purple line, I have the red lines. These are our EMAs. These are exponential moving averages. How much is the price moving on a slower scale, a faster scale, and the VWAP is the green line, the volume weighted average price. That's what it's called. And so the green line is a good, you know what I mean? An anchor where you can try and use it maybe that one trade. And as you can see, this is on a 2-minute.
That's 2 minutes.
Each bar, 2 minutes.
Each bar is 2 minutes.
Right? Now, you want to see today how I lost my $1,000? On these are all the minutes, all right?
$1,000 yesterday.
Yeah, baby.
Again, fuck.
Thank God it's not my real money.
I told you, it's a bad investment, Pat.
Depends what you call an investment.
I'll be sending that clip to Val.
Come here, pussycat.
Go right here. That spot right here took me out. What my mistake was, as I didn't leave enough room for my entries, and I got aggressive because this morning, that morning there, I realized I didn't understand the challenge. The challenge is that you want to reach $3,000. I'm like, I have to reach $3,000. I can do this.
You got aggressive?
Because I was doing my first day, I made $200. Okay, and then I left open a trade.
Then
I left open a trade on Friday afternoon because Catherine was telling me, let's go out, do something. And I left the trade. And when I got back, I lost $125. So I only made $80. Next day on Monday, I was over trading. I wasn't in my right mind. I was distracted. I lost 200 something.
Can't put like alerts or something that tell you this is dropping. No?
Yeah, like
Sure, you can. Yeah, you can.
Happens too fast, or
Sure.
you can put alerts like if it drops 5% or
notifies you.
yeah.
Okay.
The third day, I made. Okay, I made
Hit again. I don't think it picked up. 850.
My third day, I made 50, and it was ink candy from a baby. Okay, the market was just
Printing money.
Just yeah, and I could have taken more, but I didn't. Hydrate. Time I ate 50 was no problem. The next day I made 200. So there you go. I was almost at 5,001, 50,000, 1,000.
1,000.
Then afterwards, shit happened right here. This wick, it happened fast. Really, like, because the Jackson Hole Committee, which is the Federal Reserve that's talking about their future projections for the whole year. And
That's what was happening when that happened?
this is Fed speakers. These are a bunch of people. And I didn't respect the volatility that would create by
From
these
that
jerks talking. And so I just aggressively, I bought one contract. You know, imagine I bought a contract here. I bought another contract here. 2 and 2. And then see this right here? Boom. Ciao. I'm out. Lock
They
me
cut you.
out. They lock me out. And
At
what
the fourth
happens?
one, okay. All right.
That happened right there. Seriously, right after. This would have been another $1,000 and I would have closed that stupid computer.
Oh shit.
All right. It's okay. I learned
the
a
lesson.
stupid lesson.
Yeah.
Guys, I know my silver. I know that it was underpriced at this price. What happened today? Look at it.
Went back up. Yeah.
29, almost $30. Okay.
No, yeah, but that's the beauty of knowing your product in stock, my dad.
Entry all week
Yeah.
in my head is don't be a pig. All right. Because you can get greedy, you can get you could be fearful, but pigs, they get slaughtered.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Pigs
deep.
fucking get
That's deep,
slaughtered.
Steve.
No, it's true though. That's a
You
amazing
want to
way
get
of saying
super
it.
greedy, you
Amazing way
really
of
want
saying
to,
it.
and that's exactly what I did a little bit. So I was like, instead of not respecting the price, I should have just said myself, it broke out of this and it sold off. Go find the new resistance, the new support. So
Okay,
there's new
yeah,
support
you were
and buy again
Yeah.
instead of being this fucking hero.
you were
know?
too hungry. Yeah.
Exactly. So today was different. I didn't take as much trades. You know, I was like, I know these guys are talking, and this is, as you can see, there's a lot of volatility anyway. It moved quite a bit. And I also traded the NASDAQ. As you can see, this is silver. This is a micro silver, meaning 100-ounce contract. So one is 100-ounce contract. Print, can you punch in, let's say, NASDAQ or NQ? There's micro, which is a smaller contract, and there's the regular, which is micro. Sorry, micro, and just the NASDAQ. Sorry, they don't have okay, the mini and the micro. So I was doing micro because you don't need much, especially with the $50,000 account, one contract.
Oh yeah.
One contract. If you do two, you're risking.
Oh yeah.
So to show my trades here, but how about this? I shorted pretty much this. Which one is it? Let me see. Today, yeah, this morning. This is morning. This is the morning right here. I'm gonna go to 5 minutes. Yeah, here. Got whipped a few times, but the idea is, and I literally did here to here. Okay, trade. I lost this morning. I was down to 250 around here. They kept on going, whipsawing me, and I'm like, okay, I have to take this. I see this opportunity to go down.
Okay, so green means shifted up. Red means right?
Each candle is 5 minutes, right?
Okay.
And it closed at the top, but it wicked. See the wick right there? Yeah. But it closed at the top of that. And the next wick, it was a bit of indecisive. The next one, super high, but it closed down. And so on and so forth. Then when I noticed that this guy didn't want to
do anything,
beat this one.
Yeah, didn't want to. It just dropped.
That was a big move. And it never made that type of move the rest of the day, right? This large size. So I capitalized and I made my account was at, instead of negative 250, I was at 250. I closed my day after all my stupidity, my shenanigans, about $300. And my silver, dude, I knew right away. Go back to my silver.
What time is closing? What's the last time you could
I think
trade?
4.
4 o'clock? And it starts at 10? That's what you said?
But sorry, Nasdaq and all futures on Sunday night it opens on Tokyo time, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's why I'm excited to play because at least sometimes later on there's less volume and less activity. So the chart kind of like respects a little bit of easier, smoother transitions. Because if you watch this, especially the Nasdaq is like a bull.
Boom.
It's just
Up,
these
down,
big
just
moves.
nothing.
Oh, you should see crypto, man. Those
Yeah,
all over the
Bitcoin.
place.
Crypto is just.
They got Bitcoin.
Bitcoin's a bit more stable compared to like some coins, man. It's
Sure.
It's all over. That's why you can turn a quick buck if you big peak there.
One guy, what coin he was talking about that was like wet pussy or something. I'm not sure.
Just the
I don't
weird
even know
names.
why. This guy literally, one of the developers quit and they took off.
Cashed out.
And he literally like invested like $15, $20. It became almost $10,000.
So that's
He was
Cash
what
out.
people are doing now. These were alternate coins or meme coins.
Yeah.
Create one, it might take off.
Yeah.
And you do like publicity.
Yeah.
Make it seem like it's the next big thing.
Yeah, Pepe.
Yeah.
And,
It's been like that since the Dogecoin, no?
Yeah.
Like where you just create a coin.
It's basically some like weird pump and dump scheme.
Yeah,
That's what pump and dump schemes
exactly.
were. That was all Jordan Belfort shit.
That. Exactly, that's right.
This company that's worth shit, but you sell it as it's the next big thing.
You sell it like it's a big thing. Everybody buys. You sell
Then
your share.
That's what crypto kind of became.
So there we go. This is my kind of like trading portfolio. It's not that great.
Like your report card.
Yeah, it's my report
Your
card.
report card.
My average.
Same thing as Messi, I see.
Uh-huh.
It is.
57%.
C pluses.
57% wins is actually a good ratio.
Anything over 50?
Well, it could be 20%, even 30%, whatever. Even if it's
It's 20% profit. No, winning trade. Okay,
winning trades.
Anything above 0 is good.
Yeah.
No.
You want to have the thing is that one trade, even if you take 100, will pay off, 1,000 times, right? Because if you're losing $10 each time, and then the
next one it just wins back.
One pulls you up. That's see, look, as you can see, these are the indices that I'm using. Look, there's my trades here. Average. All right.
That's every single trade you did.
Low. This is my day. Negative $400. My high was $330 today. So I had to come back from that. Look at that. It was up $300 yesterday, and I lost 1,000.
Awesome.
Have you traded for real?
What?
Have you ever really
I trade
live trading? You've done it? Real?
Yeah. Yeah, I had $100,000 account with a tactical, but the way that they wanted
Real
me to
money.
manage it, real money. Yeah, and it was frustrating because the Paris trading and they didn't allow me to do this type of thing.
Paris
What's
trading?
Paris trading?
That's what you said. The parrot trading.
Yeah, parrot. So if you do micro,
so it's almost like we're wrong. Let's say in the beginning of the year you pick Montreal Canadiens to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Let's say they make it to the final.
Right.
Now you can bet on the other team.
Right. Yes.
You understand? And you can win either way.
Cool.
So let's say you paid $100 for Montreal to win Stanley Cup in the beginning of the season, and the payoff is $50,000. Oh yeah, $50,000 guaranteed. You can bet $50,000 to bet on the other team. Right? So Montreal wins, you get 50.
But if they lose,
am I saying what am I saying is right?
but if they
What you're doing
lose,
is
you better
hedging.
hope you picked it.
You're hedging against the other team.
So, like, if you have $100 bet for the Habs, that from the start,
if you win, it's worth 50. So now you have $50,000 to bet on their team. No,
Only win it if they win.
yes, but you're guaranteed. If Montreal wins, you're guaranteed 50. But if you bet on
the other team,
you have,
and you bet 50, because that's the opportunity.
But it's 50 you don't have.
Yes, but kind of have it guaranteed to Montreal ones. Bet on Toronto, and they win, you get 50,000 times whatever the bet is. You know what I mean?
If you let's say if you're
but you wouldn't bet
gambling
on the other team to win. You would bet on the other team on a different bet. You're hoping
bets.
Montreal wins.
Exactly.
Montreal doesn't win, then you can be down.
Making sense what I'm saying, Steve?
Which you're kind of, but not the same sense here, because you could be losing.
No, but
is
that what pirate
trades
trading
here.
is? Yeah. Is that what pirate trading is?
So go ahead and write ES. So this, I'm comparing. Yes. Just do that. Get out there. Okay, so there. See, this is the orange line is the ES, which would be the S&P. Okay. On my chart, all these wicks and stuff is the Nasdaq. See how the divergence from wide it gets, and then it gets closer sometimes. So times
it follows
quite well.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it was following even better right here.
Yep.
But then it got wider.
Yep.
So what, historically, if you go say this is a 5 minute, that's super fast, go on a 1 day basis, you'd say that this is undervalued and this is overvalued, and they meet. You see how they meet right there? You made money. Where you shorted the Nasdaq and you bought this S&P, and they converged, they came back together. That's where, but it could get wider and wider, and then when it goes against you, you're like,
what is that based on?
That's currently trading price.
Those are two different prices.
Nasdaq
percentage basis. You see
Yellow
the percentage on the right?
No. What's the yellow? It's S&P. Yellow's S&P.
Yeah, exactly.
And the green is the Nasdaq.
Green and red chart is the Nasdaq. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives me a headache, man.
Huh?
It gives me a headache looking at this.
Well, yeah.
I don't understand it, so
fun to dabble, and obviously this is something that I like. It's my time to shine, guys. Yeah, this is something that I didn't even know that these challenges out there, which is exciting for me. So it's a good way right now to show you guys. Then hopefully I can get to that 3K and then eventually get funded.
You just have to reach that objective one time and then you get funded?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I can actually open up another account with them. Do the same thing over again.
It's just keep.
And I can use, I don't know how many accounts I can do, but I can actually, if I could be live funded on 3-4 accounts using the same signals on all of them, and if I'm profitable, well, there you go. I'm going to make quite a bit of money there. Guys,
is there any liability if they fund you and you lose money? Does it come out of your pocket?
No.
No liability.
No liability.
They're just looking for somebody who can make money.
Yeah, they want profitable traders. What they do is, like I told you, there's parameters. You get locked out.
Right.
Boom. Which is, a very good thing for them.
Even when it's live real trading, they still have these lockouts.
Oh yeah. Same thing. 100%. You have $150,000 account, you can't lose $3,000 in 1 day. Ciao.
You're locked out for the day.
Yeah. And if you lose $5,000 on the original 150, the account
Oh, you're done. Yeah, because
You have to restart the whole
Retry
challenge on that account. Just
You lose the funding.
you lose the funding, but you have to. It doesn't mean that you can always go back. You have to restart the whole the training again. And you have to be approved again. Pretty cool. I respect, as a trading company, a platform you have to respect their parameters. It makes it a little bit harder,
but it's fair.
Yeah. Well, as a good trader,
you have to.
Especially if there's no liability on your part.
That's it. You need that control somewhere.
The smart, company to do that. Oh yeah, that's it, guys. That's for. Hopefully, we can get funded.
We have like a tutorial.
So when am I making my money?
Yeah, there's plenty of basics out there. If you go on YouTube and you go on just the basics, Investopedia. Investopedia is a good platform to learn the basics. Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Yeah. Very cool. Be ballers, bro. Hopefully we freaking...
You recommend this platform?
Let's go.
A lot of people that I've been following in the community, that they fell onto this Discord channel, like on Twitter and stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna follow a bit what they're talking about, and then I created a discussion with this one guy. His name is Bacon.
Oh fuck!
Love me some bacon.
Love the smell of bacon.
And I'm like, what can you recommend? I was gonna actually open an account with my own brokerage, right? Topstep. There's no liability, and you can just get funded, hopefully, and you don't have to put that $50K.
It's a smart idea. It's almost like you're freelancing traders as a company.
The funding that you get, you make money. You only get a percentage, right?
Okay, so the first $3,000, I officially don't know, but I think it doesn't really count. You just pass the challenge. Afterwards, the what it's called, the XP, whatever it is, you're able to, after 5 days of $200 of it doesn't have to be in a month, 2 months even, but if you have $200 profit days, then you can actually start taking on money, and let's just say that you'll have $2,000 of profit in the account. You could take it 1,000. Your account stays active. As long as you don't take more than half of your winnings.
What I'm saying, they're funding you with their money.
Yes.
So any winnings you make, they give you a cut only because it's their money.
Well, if you get really live funded, earn 90%.
They take 10.
Good.
Awesome.
Wow.
Plus, you have to pay the fees of not activation, but like their
live feed. You have to pay for live feed.
Yeah, it's $150 per month.
80%.
But if you're making that kind of money, I mean, it's worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah.
If you're doing it on Topstep TV, there's an actual YouTube channel that's always live every day. That's talking about the traders. You guys are, oh my gosh, they have $250 in their account. They didn't get payout yet, and they can do it anytime. Here, request 100K. These guys did 10K a day.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Very interesting.
The art of speculation, guys. What you do with your money afterwards is what's important.
That's none of your business.
Cocaine, baby.
Cocaine and bitches.
Well, Patrick Laine at the clubs.
What are you doing later, Lane? All right, boys.
Yeah.
All right. Let's call it a night. It's freaking 2 hours, man.
Got a lot of editing to do, bro.
Yeah. Have fun editing that one, bro.
You guys are all sleeping at night. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you on the next episode.